everybody, Big Anklevich here, podcaster, author, and carnivore, and this is the video for Monday, August 28th, 2023. It's a little bit late because I went out of town, but I'll catch up. We'll get there. So this is my video for week 13 of my journey to Wonderland using beef, butter, bacon, and eggs carnivore and alternate day fasting. So let's jump into those daily videos and see how the week went here on Big Anklevich on health. All right, it's a new week. It is Monday, and I got up and did my numbers this morning, and my blood sugar was at 83, which is pretty good. So average number, and it's right almost the same as what it's been for the last little while. My ketones have come up a little bit. They're at 1.6, which put those together, and that brings down my Dr. Boz ratio all the way to 51. Not exactly where I want it to be, but it's trending in the right direction. So that is good. I don't quite understand why it came up, because I actually ate more on Sunday than I did on Saturday, but it was cleaner stuff. None of that stuff with extra additives like dextrose or monosodium glutamate or whatever. I don't know. I don't think I had that in anything. But anyways, it's looking a little bit better. And after that, I went out for a walked around the Greenbelt trails, and that was nice to do. It's going to be a little bit of a weird week as far as walking and running goes, because I'm not going to have time to do all the things. The end of the week, I'm going to be traveling. So we'll have to see how that goes and how I work that schedule out. I think I'm just going to have to start. I usually only run 3 days a week. I may have to start upping that a little bit for a little while to catch myself back up to the right level. We'll see. But for now, I took a walk. Get out of here, kid. Take a walk. And so that was nice. And that's it. Today's a fasting day. I am not eating today. I didn't eat anything. And I will continue to not eat anything until tomorrow morning, when hopefully my ketones are up even higher. We'll see how that goes. I will talk to you guys about it then. Hey everybody, it is Tuesday. So I got up this morning and I did my numbers, and my numbers were a lot better than they have been in a long time. I did fast. I was fasting, so everything was lower or higher depending on what it's supposed to be than it has been. My blood sugar was all the way down at 68. My ketones were up to 2.1, which gave me a Dr. Boz ratio of 32. All of those are pretty good. That's what I want my stuff to be at. It was kind of a crazy morning this morning. I had issues. My son, all his clothes weren't washed. And he needed to go to school, and so for a point I got into the car, I drove to Walmart, and I was gonna buy him a pair of shorts so he had something to wear to school, just to hurry back with any old shorts. In the end, that turned out to be unnecessary because he was complaining that his throat hurt really bad and he was too sick to go to school. And I got to Walmart, and my wife said, "Oh, don't buy anything, just come back, we'll have his clothes washed by the time he gets better." And so I used up all the good cool air time to go running. After that, everybody went to the beach without me because I still have to go to work while they're home. Except for my sick son. He had to stay home by himself and be sad and lonely. But I went on a run and ran for 40 minutes with 4 segments of 30 seconds of pushing it as hard as I could, which, let me tell you, that's hard. Changing up to a higher speed is not something I'm particularly good at. I'm good at loafing along, but it did really help my pace. If you look at my pace here, it's a lot better than it has been. still not great, but it's not all the way down at like 16 minutes a mile, so that's good. So yeah, the run was a success. I'm happy about that. After I got home from my run, I finished off my fast at 42.5 hours, and I made myself some bacon and eggs, and I chowed down on that. It's a pound of bacon and 6 eggs is what I eat every time I say I made bacon and eggs. So that was good. The bad part was that I ate, everything got pushed back so late that I ate late, and I wasn't hungry before I left for work. And because of that, I forgot to eat a second meal. I always eat 2 meals in between my fasts, but I did not eat a second meal, and I'm at work and I don't have food to eat. They don't have stuff in the vending machine for carnivores. So I guess I'm just starting my fast, and we're going to see what happens if I only have 1 meal instead of 2. I don't like that idea. I want to eat. I want to make sure that I feed my body enough. You know, I'm fasting a lot, but I want to make sure that I'm not undernourished. I don't want my hair to start falling out or any of that kind of stuff. So I try to be careful to make sure that I eat plenty. And yeah, I didn't do that today. So hopefully that's not a big problem. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm starting to fast, and I guess I'll talk more about it tomorrow. It is Wednesday, and my numbers this morning, they were so-so. My blood sugar came up a little because I ate yesterday, and it was 95. The ketones down a little, I guess because I ate yesterday. They were at 1.5. Put those together, that made my Dr. Boz ratio a 63, which it's a little higher than I want it to be. I want it to be about 20 down from that. So we'll see if I can get there tomorrow. One thing that I didn't get to say yesterday, because I recorded my video before I did this, I was talking about how I messed up and I didn't eat food, my second meal before I left, and that was kind of weighing on my mind. And yesterday at about 6, I decided that I would break down and go get some food after all. So I drove out to Wendy's, and I got myself 6 of their quarter-pound hamburger patties, and I ate those for my second meal. So my fast started a lot late. It's going to be a lot shorter than it tends to be. Hopefully it'll still be worthwhile. But yeah, I did eat a little bit more. I just thought I probably better confess to that, because I want you to have the full story of how I did this. So yeah, I'm fasting today, so I haven't eaten anything, and I will keep doing that. Fast through till tomorrow morning, when I'm sure to have some bacon and eggs. Oh, I almost forgot to mention that I went on a walk today too. I was spending all my time talking about eating burger patties. But yeah, I did that, and I'll be back again tomorrow with more. Hey everybody, it is Thursday, and you know, it's a good day because I got to eat today. I got up and did my numbers first of all, and my blood sugar's down to 74, which is good. My ketones were up to 2.7, which is also good, which means I got a Dr. Boz ratio of 27, which is the kind of thing that I'm really looking for. I want to hit that as much as I possibly can. I know Dr. Boz says, you know, she wants to hit that at least once a week. I'd like to hit it more than once a week, and I think that's good. So I've hit it at least once this week, so there's that. After checking my numbers, I went out and went for a run, and it was a good run. 40 minutes altogether. 30 minutes were a regular pace, and then 10 minutes were supposed to be a moderate pace. Can I do a moderate pace? Not particularly. I tried my best. I tried to keep myself going, and in the end I got a pretty decent pace. you know, earlier this week when I did, well, I guess it was last week really, on Saturday when I did my 70-minute run, or was it 60? 60, 70, I can't remember. Well, my long run, we'll say that. When I did my long run earlier on Sunday, my pace was like 16 and a half. And then on Tuesday, my pace was 15 and a half. And today it was 14 and a half, more or less. So, you know, that's something. I guess we'll see when I do a long run next, what my pace drops back down or goes back up. I don't know how you talk about it. I mean, it gets worse. We'll see how much worse it gets when I do the long run, because, you know, when I was running today, I started out, my pace was really good, and then it got slower and slower and slower and slower, and that's the way it always goes. So I don't know. Somehow I got to be able to pick that up, because I don't want to be running a marathon all friggin' day. Get this thing over with and get on with my life, right? Anyways, I got home and I finished my fast up at, I think I made 38 hours, you know, because of adding those hamburgers that I ate on Tuesday night and made my fast start later. It was a pretty short fast, only 38 instead of something more like 42 or 44. I think it would have been at least 42 if I hadn't changed that, more like 44 probably, because I totally forgot to eat a second meal. But yeah, I had bacon and eggs, and they were wonderful, as usual. And then later, after I got to work, I warmed up some ground beef, and I had that for my second meal. And I'm trying to decide, because I have to drive out of town this weekend. We'll be driving for 2 days, which means we'll be getting food on the run. What do I want to do with that? Do I want to be fasting while I'm driving out of town? Maybe that's a good idea, because then I don't have to deal with all that crap of trying to secure food that isn't garbage. I'm trying to decide that. I can't decide. So it's possible I may not fast today, starting now. I may just, you know, eat again tomorrow and fast on the weekend. Trying to think about it and decide. We'll see. Anyways, I will tell you what I've decided in the next thing. Hey everybody, it is Friday and I got up and did my numbers this morning. My blood sugar was at 88, which is up a little from yesterday, but it's what I expect because I didn't fast yesterday. My ketones were down a little bit from yesterday to 1.6, again, what you'd expect because there was no fasting going on. And that put my Dr. Boz ratio at 55, which isn't terrible, but it's not great. I guess, you know, if I'm not fasting, maybe that's what I get each day from now on. As long as I'm fasting and getting down into the good numbers frequently, I suppose that's helpful. That's good. That's the way it should be. So yeah, I didn't fast yesterday, but I am fasting today. I decided I would go ahead and do that, and I'll find ways to get food while I am driving out of town tomorrow. So I think I'm going to go to Buc-ee's, get myself some brisket. Yeah. Yeah, I did fasting. Today I did go out and go for a walk, which is good because I won't be able to do that for the next 2 days while I'm driving. So it's my last chance for that for a couple of days. I'll have to run on Monday and see if I can jam it through to get back onto schedule by next week. But yeah, I went for a walk and that was nice. And yeah, now I'm just here at work and I am not eating. And I'll do that till tomorrow morning and I'll talk to you about it then. See ya. Hey everybody, it is, what is it, Saturday. It's been a long day. We are in Albuquerque, New Mexico today. I'm on my way to my sister's house. We're going to visit, and I'm getting my daughter back to college, helping her drive out so she can get her car home without, you know, having to go by herself and falling asleep at the wheel and crashing and stuff. So before we left this morning, I got up and I did my numbers. My blood sugar's at 75, which is a great number. My ketones at 3.1, which is also a great number. And so therefore my Dr. Boz ratio was 824, which is, yeah, you guessed it, also a great number. Just kind of thing that I would want at the end of a fast. So I finished off my fast and I had myself some bacon and eggs, and those bacon and eggs were tasty. Very enjoyable. I figured I got to get something really good and satisfying before we hit the road. And as soon as I finished my bacon and eggs, and actually I think before I finished my bacon and eggs, I think I took them with me in the car. And I finished them as we started driving. And it was a good long drive. Somewhere around Dallas, there was a Buc-ee's, and I stopped at the Buc-ee's, and I had a pound of brisket from Buc-ee's, the sliced brisket, which has no sauce on it. And that was my meal for the day. So pretty good, bacon and eggs and brisket, and I didn't have anything else. So it was a pretty good day. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Traveling is always really tough. It's always hard to be able to get the kind of food that you want. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. See how tomorrow is. But I'll keep coming back here and letting you know. It is Sunday, and I made it all the way to my sister's house. So we are staying here. We finished our drive. And we'll see how this week goes as I'm away from home and having to eat and do things that I don't normally eat and do. This morning I got up and I did my numbers at the hotel. I was only able to do some of them. Usually I weigh myself every day too, and that I had to skip. I'm probably gonna have to skip that this whole week. We'll have to see, I don't know. But my blood sugar and my ketones I was able to do, my blood sugar was all the way up to 103, which kind of surprises me because what did I have yesterday? Bacon and eggs and brisket? Maybe there's stuff in the brisket that raised it. I don't know. It seems a little higher than I would normally have it. And on top of that, my ketones were way down. They were 1.3. So that meant that my Dr. Boz ratio was only a 79, which, I don't know. I mean, it's not great, but it's a off day. I'm not fasting or anything like that, so nothing to really bring it down a lot. And on top of that, I'm traveling, so I'm sure there's stuff. Like, I'm sure that brisket had stuff in it that brought my blood sugar up. You know, there's probably some kind of sugary something in it. That's pretty standard in anything that you're buying out, and I'm sure I'll run into that a lot more. For breakfast this morning, we had the hotel breakfast, which those can be hit and miss, I've found. Today there was these eggs. They were pretty gross. I think they're, you know, the dehydrated ones that you add water and boil in a bag or something like that. And then they had this bacon, which was possibly the thinnest bacon I've ever seen. You can see through it. I ate like the whole tub of bacon that they had. So there's this plate that you've been seeing here, and then on top of that, I filled up another plate and ate that, and I didn't even feel slightly full by the time I was done. That was how lame that meal was. Along the drive, every time we would stop, I would look for something that I could have, that I could eat. We were just stopping at convenience stores, and the only thing I ever came across was pork rinds or cracklins. I had a little bag of pork rinds, an even littler bag of cracklins, which those were really good. Gosh, I love cracklins. They're good things. And then later I had a larger bag of pork rinds. That's a lot of garbage food. I don't know, like pork rinds aren't as bad. I mean, I looked at the ingredients on all of them, and they always said that they had, you know, pork skin and sometimes the fat attached to it, and they would say natural smoky flavor. What does that mean? I don't know. Is it really natural? It's probably not. It's probably just sugar or something. I don't know. It's probably something really bad that causes cancer. But anyways, yeah, that's what I had. along the drive. And when we made it here, my sister had some food that I could have. She had these little egg cups that she gets from Costco, and they have eggs and bacon in them. And I think they might have a little bit of cheese in them. I'm not sure. And then the rest of this was ham, which that also might have some sugar in it. So I'm kind of worried about what my numbers are going to be like tomorrow. None of you guys will get to know that right away, though, because we're going back to Big Anklevich to wrap up this week. And then we'll find out about next week in the next video. So you'll have to tune in again next week. So make sure to tune in. Don't miss it. You'll want to know. All right, so there you go. I'm on my trip at where we're at this point. Next week's video, you'll get to see how the trip went. But for now, we're just going to have to cut it off and finish off the week. So how did the week go? Well, last week, if you remember, I was weighing in at 261.9. And I had a pretty good week. Wasn't terrible, so I was happy with it. But this week, at the end, my average weight was 257.9, which means that I came down 4 pounds this week. That's a really big drop for me. I haven't had many weeks like that. That puts me at a total of 31.9 pounds down altogether, which, again, as I say every week, it's not really what I'm after. I'm not after pounds. I'm after health. Pounds tend to sort of correlate with the health, but not 100%. So, you know, it could be that I lost extra water this week as opposed to last week or whatever. You know, some weeks they aren't as great as others. But the good thing is that generally things are going in the right direction. And there's all sorts of things. I bring one up pretty much every week, a non-scale victory. Things that show me that, you know, not just the pounds are coming off, but that my body is changing shape, that it's doing what it should be doing. For example, this shirt, I don't know if you recognize it. If you're a long-time viewer, you might recognize it. I got this shirt all the way back in 2019 when I had gotten into this stuff in the first place. When I first started doing carnivore, I started losing weight, and I got this shirt. And I was like, this is my carnivore shirt. Look at that. It's the cow with all the cuts of the cow on there. And I was just like, this is perfect. And then when I blew it at the end of 2019 and I started gaining all that weight back, this shirt didn't really fit me anymore. But here we are wearing it again because it fits me great. And not because I lost 31.9 pounds per se, because that could be all different things going on, but because I got more healthy. And I'm able to fit these things that were smaller. You know, sometimes your weight doesn't go down because your muscle goes up or whatever. You know, there's all sorts of different things that can be behind that. But, you know, this is, it's good stuff. Coming down. We'll have to see how well I can do while I'm on vacation. That's the tough part. Vacation is always really tough, and I'm not so worried about whether I lose weight this upcoming week as that whether I gain weight. You know, I don't want to get worse, which is always a high possibility when you go on vacation. It was a vacation that ruined me in 2019, what I was just talking about before, when I lost it because I gave in. And I did something that I shouldn't have. And I learned a lesson from that, though. I learned that I'm not a moderator. I can't just have a little bit and be fine later. If I decide to give in, then it's a big decision. I am basically deciding to throw away everything that I've done up until that point. So that is a lesson that I've learned about myself. And I'm not going to do that this time, not on this vacation. I will not give in. I will not be like, well, I need an energy drink to stay up while I drive. No, I don't. I'll be fine without it. And I will sleep when I need to, and I'm not going to do something stupid like trying to drive all night like I did in 2019. So yeah, I think I'll be okay. And of course, that's a bit of a spoiler because as you can see, I'm already back home from that vacation. But I'll tell you how I'm okay next week when we're all done with this. But for now, we're just going to call it quits. I'm going to toss it to the outro music, and I'll see you guys again next week. Thanks for watching Big Anklevich on health.